Here it says Don Lemon is mad that Barack Obama was cordial to Trump at Jimmy Carter's funeral. These are the very same MAGA people who have called Michelle Obama a man. I'm not smiling in your face if you're calling my sister, my mother, or my wife, or my girlfriend a man. Fuck you. Any of you familiar with this? This that went on?
No.
Vaguely.
Okay,
But I will tell you.
I'll let it play. Damn, that bitch's voice is shrill.
Having lived in Russia in the first few years after Vladimir Putin took power, the debates among those who sought to oppose him, they benefited him. They benefited him because they took their own fights over their version of civility much more seriously than they took the serious structural changes that were taking place in Russia that led to the end of Russian democracy.
Structural changes, Michael, are happening
That was
right
very
now.
well. Stop, pause, please. You guys understand what she said? Do you guys get what she said? They're trying to make people civil, right? And they're having these fights over, she goes, civility, when the structural fabric and nature of the society was deteriorating, because they're trying to figure out like what is civil and what is not, and who should be civil. And that one side is trying to get people to be civil because of their own uncivil actions rather than just words. So when you see something like what happened yesterday, people have a right to be concerned because they go, well, if they're going to do that there publicly, what are they going to say and do behind closed doors? If they're going to acquiesce seemingly like that publicly, then what does that mean in the broader sense of the structure, the fabric of our society? You have to indicate to the American people that this is not normal. That's kikiing and skinning and grinning with someone who has those that you have called a fascist over the last couple of years and the last months. That's not normal. Folks are tired of the behavior being normalized. Civility does not mean befriending people or foregoing your morals and your principles and your character. If someone disrespects my loved one, I don't have to smile in their fucking face. And they're going to know it. If Ted Cruz can't stand up for his wife that Donald Trump calls ugly, then who is he going to stand up for? Now, listen, it could be, you guys could be right. Barack Obama is classy. He's a classy guy. But these are the very same MAGA people who have called, and Donald Trump has helped promote, calling Michelle Obama a man. I'm not smiling in your face if you're calling my sister or my mother or my wife or girlfriend a man. Fuck you.
Okay, so thoughts on that?
Okay, here's my take on that. You can be civil to somebody in public and not agree with a damn thing they stand for. It's called being an adult. Unless they say or do something so damn terrible that there's no coming back from it.
Well, I actually have conflicting thoughts on it. For one, it does show that they're all, it's one big club and you're not in it. It's two wings, one bird. It shows that we're the suckers in the end. But my other thought on it, conflicting thought, isn't getting along what we're aiming for, what we're hoping for? When the two parties come to some amount of sanity together, where there's not an extreme right and extreme left, but rather, hey, we're working things out a little bit. Isn't that what we're hoping for? Shouldn't that be the goal?
In a way. but the thing that Lemon here forgets is that this is not Michelle Obama's funeral. This is not about, that has nothing to do with Michelle Obama. This is about a former U.S. president, in which I will personally say one of the worst U.S. presidents in U.S. history, one of. But still, at the end of the day, he was still a human being. He was still a leader of the free world. He was still in Oval Office. And he has earned a little bit of respect from both sides to where people came to his funeral. So we're showing respect. We can still be enemies, but at the end of the day, it's like that funeral is Switzerland. So are you going to be who's going to be the first one to be an asshole? If I was Obama, I'd expect Donald Trump to be the asshole and make a scene so I have ammo against him. If I was Trump, I'd expect Obama to be the asshole and make a fool of himself so I have ammo. So if you keep yourself blameless, right, in midst of everything, and the crowd is watching, because Shakespeare said, "The world is a stage, and the people merely actors." Well, actors need an audience. So if you keep civil, it shows that your side or who you are, what you represent, is the better part. And that's how peace usually starts, is when two people say, okay, you may have done this and I may have done that. Let's find some common ground here. We both respect this one person. And if you can't do that, well, I hate to tell you, but I got a bridge to tell you. That's called how wars are started. Every war is started not because of God told me to invade this country or because of oil. It's because of disagreements. It's always been disagreement.
So this first comment, they have a point. Did Trump say that? Or was it just, his supporters? I mean, they conflate that, it's kind of like guilty by association thing, except this time it's kind of in reverse. Did he indeed say that? Not to my knowledge, but I don't keep up with that stuff all that much.
Oh yeah, I don't either. I won't lie. If he has said that, then I'm like, yeah. People called him a Nazi, so
yeah, it's like call him behind a curtain or behind a stage and then played nice after that.
Yeah.
Well, when you're going to somebody's funeral, there's a certain decorum, only the most ghetto shit starts, only the most ghetto of people start shit at a funeral. You just don't do that.
Yeah, emotions are high at a funeral. Of course, it's not like they really had a big connection with Jimmy Carter, but still, emotions are high at a funeral, and that is not a place where you want to stir shit up at.
Nope.
And this person has a point. Don Lemon, he's not really relevant anymore. I mean, he was a big name in news. I never really kept up with news, but I know he's a big name. He's probably rich. And he's not really relevant anymore. I would go so far as to say the majority seek alternative news.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. Oh, good Lord. Oh, God.
Wow. Well, it's like this. It's a really old cartoon from like the 40s or 50s. I don't know how old it is. I know it's old, but it was one of those Americanism propaganda ones where they were trying to talk about how they were afraid that the communists were coming here and trying to separate us by race, creed, religion, ideology, and they were selling this thing called ism, right? And this character called Peabody or something, he tells them that when someone is trying to divide us on these things, they're trying to rob us of our liberty. So, the way I see it, Don Lemon, in my personal view, is shackled in that mindset of us versus them, that he cannot see beyond the fact that a human being has died and that two presidents, in fact, I think all the presidents, I think Bill was there, Donald Trump, everyone who's been a president is going to the funeral of a former president. So like Elazar was saying, there's a certain amount of decorum. And he's trying to keep people divided so that our freedoms and liberties are robbed. You know, like we can't make that. We're gonna be. It's like the. I'm losing the words I'm trying to say here, but it's like that one girl on Hypnocast. In the intro, she says she can't talk to her family anymore because her family voted for Trump and they don't know what's going. She divided herself from her family because she's shackled to her beliefs rather than that her family is her family and these are living people. If I don't know if I'm coming across clearly, that's what I'm trying to say.
I get what you're saying. Now, one thought I had is, the president of the United States, POTUS, is one of the, possibly the highest title in the land. Mm-hmm. They're the ones who's supposed to set examples. They're the one who's supposed to have the composure, especially to one another, because they keep that title after their presidential run. I mean, unless I'm mistaken, right? So, yeah, they're supposed to represent always.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like when you go to a funeral, there's going to be some people there that you cannot stand. So what you do ahead of time is
get drunk and high.
Yeah, drink a little to calm your nerves, and then you can get through the funeral without too much of an incident.
Not drunk and not completely high, but it's enough to calm yourself.
Yeah.